Before 1979, Iran was a monarchy under Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, a close US ally and a key Cold War partner. The Shah's regime relied on American military support, making Iran a regional powerhouse and a linchpin for Western interests, especially oil. The Shah's White Revolution aimed to modernize Iran, land reform, women's suffrage and education, but mostly benefited the elite. Western culture flourished in cities, but many Iranians saw this as a threat to Islamic values and national identity. The secret police, Savak, brutally suppressed dissent, creating a climate of fear. Iran's quiet partnership with Israel further alienated religious and nationalist groups. For the US and Israel, Iran was a rare, stable partner in a volatile region. But for many Iranians, the Shah's Western alignment and repression felt like a betrayal. Discontent simmered beneath the surface, setting the stage for upheaval. The seeds of revolution were sown in the gap between the Shah's vision and the people's reality. Iran's transformation into a westernized state came at the cost of deepening divisions. The stage was set for a dramatic change. The revolution was fueled by inequality, repression, and cultural backlash. Oil wealth enriched a small elite, while most Iranians faced poverty and inflation. The Shah's push for westernization clashed with Iran's Islamic traditions, angering religious leaders and their followers. Political parties were banned and Savak silenced opposition through fear. Mosques became safe havens for dissent, and Ayatollah Khomeini's message of resistance spread through smuggled tapes. Khomeini, exiled for criticizing the Shah, called for an Islamic government and condemned US influence. His simple, powerful rhetoric united students, workers, and the clergy. The revolution was not just political, it was a cultural and spiritual uprising. Khomeini became the symbol of hope for millions seeking change. The movement gained unstoppable momentum. The revolution's core was anti-imperialism and a demand for independence from foreign control. Khomeini's vision, a government rooted in Islamic law, rejecting both monarchy and Western secularism. The principle of Velayat-e-Faqih, ruled by the Islamic jurist, placed ultimate authority in the hands of a supreme leader. This system promised justice and morality, appealing to those disillusioned by the Shah's regime. The revolution united conservatives, intellectuals, and the poor under a new ideology. The promise, a truly independent Iran, governed by Islamic values. This vision inspired millions to risk everything for a new society. The Islamic Republic was born from this powerful mix of faith and defiance. Protests against the Shah exploded after a government insult to Khomeini in 1978. Each crackdown fueled more demonstrations spreading nationwide. Strikes crippled the economy and the military lost control. The Shah's last-minute reforms failed. The people wanted him gone. In January 1979, the Shah fled Iran. Crowds celebrated his departure. Khomeini returned to a hero's welcome, ending centuries of monarchy. Real power shifted to Khomeini and his revolutionary councils. The old regime collapsed rapidly. In April, a referendum established the Islamic Republic. The new constitution enshrined Velayat-e-Faqih, making Khomeini supreme leader. Iran's government now blended theocracy with limited republican elements. The revolution had remade Iran's political landscape forever. After the revolution, Iran's foreign policy turned fiercely anti-Western. The US, once an ally, became the great Satan, the embodiment of imperialism and corruption. The 1979 hostage crisis severed US-Iran ties and shocked the world. Iran's stance toward Israel shifted from quiet cooperation to open hostility, branding it the little Satan. Iran championed the Palestinian cause and opposed US and Israeli influence in the region. The new doctrine, neither East nor West, Iran would chart its own path. Iran began supporting Islamic movements abroad, exporting its revolution. This confrontational foreign policy set Iran on a collision course with global powers. The region would never be the same. The revolution's first major consequence was the devastating Iran-Iraq War. Saddam Hussein invaded, fearing Iran's influence and seeking regional dominance. The 8-year conflict killed hundreds of thousands and deepened Iran's isolation. Iran built a network of militant proxies. Hezbollah in Lebanon, support for Hamas and others to extend its reach. These alliances allowed Iran to challenge Israel and rival Arab states indirectly. The war and regional threats pushed Iran to pursue a controversial nuclear program claiming peaceful intent. The West, especially the US and Israel, feared Iran's nuclear ambitions. Iran's influence now shapes conflicts in Syria, Yemen, and Lebanon. The revolution transformed Iran into a regional power broker. Its legacy is visible in every major Middle Eastern flashpoint today. The struggle for dominance continues. Iran's standoff with the West drew in global powers. Russia and Iran cooperate militarily, especially in Syria, to counter US influence. Russia shields Iran from harsh UN sanctions, seeking to reassert itself globally. China's interest is economic, seeking oil and investing in Iran's infrastructure. A 25-year partnership with China gives Iran a vital economic lifeline. These alliances undermine US efforts to isolate Iran. The Iranian question is now a global chess match, with each power pursuing its own interests. The stakes are high and the balance of power is fragile. Any miscalculation could have global consequences. The future remains tense and uncertain. A direct conflict involving Iran, Israel, or the US, though, could ignite a regional war, drawing in proxies and devastating the Middle East. The Strait of Hormuz is a global oil choke point. Any disruption would trigger a worldwide economic crisis. Shifting alliances could reshape the geopolitical landscape with new power blocks emerging. Diplomacy is the only path to avoid catastrophe, but deep mistrust makes peace elusive. The issues, nuclear ambitions, regional influence, sanctions, are deeply intertwined. The choices made by leaders today will shape the region's fate. The world watches, hoping for stability over war. The stakes could not be higher